Welcome back to Cryptopia, where we go over the wet and wild happening in NFT land. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way in today. Bapes or Bionic Apes. There's already a Bapes. There's Bapes Clan, and I've already done a number of videos on those guys. So there's a Bionic Apes, and these guys are a collection of 5,555 Bionic art pieces, PFP apes. Don't think they're animated. Could be wrong about that though. I don't think so. So I was gonna hold off making a video on this until I realized that the whitelist is actually happening today at the time that you're watching this, and the public sale is tomorrow. And so, you know, I'm not the hugest fan of this project. The art's okay. I don't really mind the art. It's actually all right. What I find weird about this to start off with was the fact that I think they've already launched, technically. So I forget where I was reading that, but when you go over to kind of OpenSea, it looks like they kind of came out in February 18th, something around there, and sort of like was been kind of coasting sideways up and down ever since. Now, I'm guessing they're sort of maybe rebranding, trying something new, trying to regenerate the hype around the project and giving it a relaunch. Now, that's not really a bad thing. There's no problem in a project kind of looking at what they might have done wrong the first time and trying again. I wonder what happened to the people who already bought these, if that is the case, and what that means. You know, maybe that's wrong and they didn't actually launch already, but it seems like they have. And it seems that there are already a ton of owners of their NFT already. So that's kind of weird for me to see. I think that's the first time I've ever seen anything like that. I'm sure it's happened before, but that's the first time I'm seeing it. So this is sort of the project. At least this is what, you know, the art's gonna look like. And again, I don't mind it. It looks pretty cool. Fan of cigars, so you know, it's not bad. So part of what this project is going to be doing is they're going to be having staking abilities. They're going to have their own coin, and they're even going to be having their own PDE game, which is, you know, quite a lot. Now, when I jump down to their team, you can see these guys. They're technically somewhat doxed, I suppose. A full doxing to me is really showing me their credentials as well. Can't really find the LinkedIn for most of these guys. So this is the head of communications and integration, which is, you know, project creative lead. The project and the creative lead over here, Eugene. And he does, you know, again, like you can see his whole life. You can see him out here, out with his girlfriend or whatever, out with his friends, what have you. Not really anything art related. He's an artist here. He could be a photographer because there are some decent shots in here as well, but I don't really see any NFT art. Typically, you see a lot of that with, you see a lot of different kinds of art, and then sometimes you'll see the NFT art that they are promoting as well. So I'm not really seeing any of that. So there's that guy. There's Sammy, he's the head of communications and integration. I mean, so this guy runs, I don't know what to call this exactly. I guess it's some sort of self-improvement thing. The art of social confidence, Ministry of Attraction Tribe. This sounds very like pickup artistry. It sounds like almost, but it's not like. But he's not calling it that. Welcome to the. This group is built specifically for career-driven men looking to build their social confidence, building their social circle, and even having the tools to meet and attract their ideal partner. Yeah, this is 100% like a pickup artist thing. He's also a public figure, helping career-focused men attract their partners and using 3 steps to process without spending hours aimlessly swiping on apps. I mean, there is a place for that. I don't know what that has to do with communications and integration. I guess the communication part, and he does talk about helping people, I think, career focus, like help them out with their career and stuff like that. So I guess that's a useful thing to have. There's this Juan Tam. He's the tech entrepreneur and crypto power player with 2 decades of experience. So I don't think you would have been able to guess it. I can't find any of these guys' LinkedIn at all. He just says he's an entrepreneur. I mean, you can see he's, you know, jacked as shit, and you can see their lives and you can see who they are here, which is nice. But that's about kind of it. In terms of credentials, which would have been nice to see, sort of a LinkedIn profile showing off what they've done, or, you know, talking specifically about, you know, the work that the companies that he's done. Like the last guy does show that he does do other things. In like even though it's like it seems very pickup artist thing. There's nothing I guess wrong with that aside from the inherent stuff that usually comes across for those kinds of people. But it would be nice to see a little bit more, especially involving sort of crypto and NFTs and stuff like that. This guy seems to be the only one that they mention that's associated with crypto and NFTs in any way whatsoever. This guy was the former president of Rock Nation's Latin division and serial entrepreneur. This guy does have probably the most information there is. You're right. So there is like all of this, and I think there are sort of some links to some TED Talks that he does. Is his wiki, and there's articles, bunch of articles talking about him. So that one's a pretty particularly nice. Working in finance and working in music was most of what these articles were discussing and talking about, and having somewhat of a, kind of a background in tech stuff. So he and the last guy are probably the two most prolific, I would say. So their team, yes and no. It's I don't know. There's something about their team that feels a little bit off. Granted, they are entrepreneurs. But there is like the way NFTs grow truly and organically is through a community. And I don't see how these guys are, I don't know, like it might speak volumes as to why their original attempt didn't work, because despite them being great businessmen, they're missing one of the core fundamental pieces to create a good NFT. It's not just like the art. It's not even just the utility. It's the community and how much you interact and get them on board with what you're doing. And I'm not seeing that here, as these people don't themselves seem to really be that into NFTs. Not that you need that, but I'm sure it helps a lot to be able to interact with the people way more than that. So another thing that they're missing from here, they do have a white paper, and I did go through it. It doesn't really, it's more of a light paper or like it doesn't really give you a lot of detail as to how they're going to perform these things or anything like that. It simply just says, hey, we're going to have staking. You're going to be able to stake this stuff. You're going to be able to get the radioactive banana. Don't know what the fuck that really means. They have like a PvE game where you can play the game, and within the game, you're like escaping humans who are trying to kidnap you because you're like a bionic ape and they want to use you for resources and power and stuff like that, and you're just trying to run away from them. You're trying to collect radioactive bananas. And that's going to be helpful in some way. I don't know. There's not much given out about how the game's going to work. And then you can stake your Babes coin. They're going to have a native coin that you can stake, of course. Right? They don't really talk about much about that coin either, except for the basics about, hey, we're making a coin, and this coin's going to be used to do purchases and staking within our own ecosystem. So in terms of their roadmap, they've completed some of these. So they started the project already. They had a billboard in Times Square. If these guys are who they say they are and they've got the money, I mean, we've seen tons of projects be able to accomplish this. It does not mean anything. It does not mean they're going to be sold out. It does not mean it just means that there's money around the people who have it, and tons of these projects have money. You know what I mean? Sometimes money's not hard to get. You can loan out. You can take a loan out, right? So they achieved this as well. The first round of minting for OG community members. I guess they already did this. Now, so this was before the white list, which is happening today, your time. So this does confirm that they did it before, even though I can see it still. And then the members giveaway, and then they have a whole bunch of stuff here. They have more utility that they plan to bring out, but they really don't know. They don't say much about it. They say as the project develops, they will give more utilities out to people. And that's kind of what's going on here. I don't want to say anything too crazy bad about this project, to be honest. It's just, it doesn't seem, it's not that it doesn't seem even legit. It's just like, it seems like it's not going to make it for other reasons, course, I could be completely fucking wrong, and you should make your own decisions and you should do your own research. But, you know, I'm seeing the attempt already done before, and I'm looking at it now, and I'm like, I don't know what you guys would have done the first time, but I could see the same problems happening the second time. I don't know what was on this website before, but what I'm seeing now leads me to believe that's why you had the problems the first time. If all of that's making sense, I could see why, you know, it didn't take off and sort of just like has been coasting so far. And I can see it kind of happening again with the secondary reveal. So we'll see. Keep my eye on it. You know, let me know what you think about this project down below. If you like it, you're psyched for it, you can't wait to get on board with it. Are you an OG holder? How does that work? Are you been waiting for the reveal since February? We're now in April. All right, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.